Usain St. Leo Bolt ôJCD is a Jamaican sprinter. Widely regarded as the fastest person ever, he is the first man to hold both the 100 meters and 200 meters world records since fully automatic time measurements became mandatory in 1977. Along with his teammates, he also set the world record in the 4A, 100 meters relay. He is the reigning Olympic champion in these three events, the first man to win 6 Olympic gold medals in sprinting, and an 8-time world champion. He was the first to achieve a double-double by winning 100 AM and 200 AM titles at consecutive Olympics, and topped this through the first double-triple. Although gaining worldwide popularity for a sprint double victory at the Beijing Games, Bolt has had more victories as a 200M runner. While he had not won any significant 100M title prior to the 2008 Olympics, he had won numerous crowns in the 200M event at the youth, junior and senior levels. Further, at the 2013 World Championships in Moscow, Bolt completed a hat-trick of 200M world titles by winning his third straight gold in the event. His 2009 record-breaking margin for 100 AM, from 9.69 seconds to 9.58, is the highest since the start of fully automatic time measurements. Bolt's achievements in sprinting have earned him the media nickname Lightning Bolt, and awards including the IAAF World Athlete of the Year, Track and Field Athlete of the Year, and Laureus Sportsman of the Year. He is the highest-paid athlete ever in track and field. He has been called the world's most marketable athlete. By winning 3 gold medals at the 2013 World Championships, Bolt became one of the most successful athletes in the 30-year history of the Athletics World Championships. Early years: Bolt was born on August 21, 1986 in Sherwood Content, a small town in Trelawney, Jamaica, and grew up with his parents, Wellesley and Jennifer Bolt, his brother Sadiki, and his sister Sharon. His parents ran a local grocery store in the rural area, and Bolt spent his time playing cricket and football in the street with his brother, later saying, "When I was young, I didn't unregistered trademark really think about anything other than sports." As a child, Bolt attended Waldensia Primary, where he first began to show his sprinting potential, running in the annual National Primary Schools meeting for his parish. By the age of 12, Bolt had become the school's fastest runner over the 100 meters distance. Upon his entry to William Knight Memorial High School, Bolt continued to focus on other sports, but his cricket coach noticed Bolt's speed on the pitch and urged him to try track and field events. Pablo McNeil, a former Olympic sprint athlete, and Dwayne Jarrett coached Bolt, encouraging him to focus his energy on improving his athletic abilities. The school had a history of success in athletics with past students, including sprinter Michael Green. Bolt won his first annual high school championships medal in 2001, taking the silver medal in the 200 meters with a time of 22.04 seconds. McNeil soon became his primary coach, and the two enjoyed a positive partnership, although McNeil was occasionally frustrated by Bolt's lack of dedication to his training and his penchant for practical jokes. Early competitions: performing for Jamaica in his first Caribbean regional event, Bolt clocked a personal best of 48.28 AS in the 400 meters in the 2001 Caribbean Games, winning a silver medal. The 200 AM also yielded a silver as Bolt finished in 21.81 AS. He made his first appearance on the world stage at the 2001 IAAF World Youth Championships in Debrecen, Hungary. Running in the 200 AM event, he failed to qualify for the finals, but he still set a new personal best of 21.73 AS. Bolt still did not take athletics or himself too seriously, however, and he took his mischievousness to new heights by hiding in the back of a van when he was supposed to be preparing for the 200 AM finals at the Caribbean Trials. He was detained by the police for his practical joke, and there was an outcry from the local community, which blamed Coach McNeil for the incident. However, the controversy subsided, and both McNeil and Bolt went to the Caribbean Games, where Bolt set championship records in the 200 AM and 400 AM with times of 21.12 AS and 47.33 AS, respectively. he continued to set records with 20.61 AS and 47.12 AS finishes at the Central American and Caribbean Junior Championships. Bolt is one of only 8 athletes to win world championships at the youth, junior, and senior level of an athletic event. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson recognized Bolt's talent and arranged for him to move to Kingston, along with Jermaine Gonzalez, so he could train with the Jamaica Amateur Athletic Association at the University of Technology, Jamaica. Rise to prominence: the 2002 World Junior Championships before a home crowd in Kingston, Jamaica, gave Bolt a chance to prove his credentials on the world stage. By the age of 15, he had grown to 1.96 meters tall, and he physically stood out among his peers. He won the 200 AM, in a time of 20.61 AS, 0.03 seconds slower than his personal best of 20.58 AS set in the first round. Bolt's 200 AM win made him the youngest world junior gold medalist ever. The expectation from the home crowd had made him so nervous that he had put his shoes on the wrong feet. However, it turned out to be a revelatory experience for Bolt as he vowed never again to let himself be affected by pre-race nerves. As a member of the Jamaican sprint relay team, he also took 2 silver medals and set national junior records in the 4A, 100 meters and 4A, 400 meters relay, running times of 39.15 AS and 3:04.06 minutes respectively. The flow of medals continued as he won 4 gold medals at the 2003 Carafta Games, and was awarded the Austin Seeley Trophy for the most outstanding athlete of the Games. He won another gold at the 2003 World Youth Championships. He set a new championship record in the 200 AM with a time of 20.40 AS, despite a 1.1 AMS headwind. Michael Johnson, the 200 AM world record holder, took note of Bolt's potential but worried that the young sprinter might be overpressured, stating, "It's all about what he does 3, 4, 5 years down the line." Bolt had also impressed the athletics hierarchy, and he received the IAAF Rising Star Award for 2002. In his final Jamaican High School Championships in 2003, he broke both the 200 AM and 400 AM records with times of 20.25 AS and 45.35 AS, respectively. Bolt's runs were a significant improvement upon the previous records, beating the 200 AM best by more than half a second and the 400 AM record by almost a second. While Bolt improved upon the 200 time 3 months later, setting the still-standing world youth best at the 2003 Pan American Junior Championships, it remains the number 2 youth time. The 400 time remains number 6 on all-time youth list, only surpassed once since by future Olympic champion Karani James. Bolt turned his main focus to the 200 AM and equaled Roy Martin's world junior record of 20.13 AS at the Pan American Junior Championships. This performance attracted interest from the press, and his times in the 200 AM and 400 AM led to him being touted as a possible successor to Johnson. Indeed, at 16 years old, Bolt had reached times that Johnson did not register until he was 20, and Bolt's 200 AM time was superior to Maurice Green's season's best that year. Bolt was growing more popular in his homeland. Howard Hamilton, who was given the task of public defender by the government, urged the JAAA to nurture him and prevent burnout, calling Bolt the most phenomenal sprinter ever produced by this island. His popularity and the attractions of the capital city were beginning to be a burden to the young sprinter. Bolt was increasingly unfocused on his athletic career and preferred to eat fast food, play basketball, and party in Kingston's club scene. In the absence of a disciplined lifestyle, he became ever more reliant on his natural ability to beat his competitors on the track. As the reigning 200 AM champion at both the World Youth and World Junior Championships, Bolt hoped to take a clean sweep of the World 200 AM Championships in the Senior World Championships in Paris. He beat all comers at the 200 AM in the World Championship trials. Bolt was pragmatic about his chances and noted that, even if he did not make the final, he would consider setting a personal best to success. However, he suffered a bout of conjunctivitis before the event, and it ruined his training schedule. Realizing he would not be in peak condition, the JAAA refused to let him participate in the finals on the grounds that he was too young and inexperienced. Bolt was dismayed at missing out on the opportunity, but focused on getting himself in shape to gain a place on the Jamaican Olympic team instead. Even though he missed the World Championships, Bolt was awarded the IAAF Rising Star Award for the 2003 season on the strength of his junior record-equaling run. Professional athletics career, early professional career. Under the guidance of new coach Fitz Coleman, Bolt turned professional in 2004, beginning with the Carafta Games in Bermuda. He became the first junior sprinter to run the 200 AM in under 20 seconds, taking the world junior record outright with a time of 19.93 AS. For the second time in the role, he was awarded the Austin Seeley Trophy for the most outstanding athlete of the 2004 Carafta Games. A hamstring injury in May ruined Bolt's chances of competing in the 2004 World Junior Championships, but he was still chosen for the Jamaican Olympics squad. Bolt headed to the 2004 Athens Olympics with confidence and a new record on his side. However, he was hampered by a leg injury and was eliminated in the first round of the 200 meters with a disappointing time of 21.05 AS. American colleges offered Bolt track scholarships on the strength of his performances, but the teenager from Trelawney refused them all, stating that he was content to stay in his homeland of Jamaica. Bolt instead chose the surroundings of the University of Technology, Jamaica, as his professional training ground, staying with the university's primitive track and weight room that had served him well in his amateur years. The year 2005 signaled a fresh start for Bolt in the form of a new coach, Glenn Mills, and a new attitude to athletics. Mills recognized Bolt's potential and aimed to cease the sprinter's unprofessional approach to the sport. Bolt began training with Mills in preparation for the upcoming athletics season, partnering with more seasoned sprinters such as Kim Collins and Dwayne Chambers. The year began well, and in July, he knocked more than a third of a second off the 200 AM CAC championship record with a run of 20.03 AS, then registered his 200 AM season's best at London's Crystal Palace, running in 19.99 AS. Misfortune awaited Bolt at the next major event, the 2005 World Championships in Helsinki. Bolt felt that both his work ethic and athleticism had much improved since the 2004 Olympics, and he saw the World Championships as a way to live up to expectations, stating, "I really want to make up for what happened in Athens. Hopefully, everything will fall into place." Bolt qualified with runs under 21 AS, but he suffered an injury in the final, finishing in last place with a time of 26.27 AS. Injuries were preventing him from completing a full professional athletics season, and the 18-year-old Bolt still had not proven his mettle in the major world athletics competitions. Bolt was involved in a car accident in November, and although he suffered only minor facial lacerations, his training schedule was further upset. His manager, Norman Part, made Bolt's training less intensive, and he had fully recuperated the following week. Bolt had continued to improve his performances, and he reached the world top 5 rankings in 2005 and 2006. Part and Mills stated their intentions to push Bolt to do longer sprinting distances with the aim of making the 400 AM event his primary event by 2007 or 2008. Bolt was less enthusiastic, and demanded that he feel comfortable in his sprinting. He suffered another hamstring injury in March 2006, forcing him to withdraw from the 2006 Commonwealth Games in Melbourne, and he did not return to track events until May. After his recovery, Bolt was given new training exercises to improve flexibility, and the plans to move him up to the 400 AM event were put on hold. Upon his return to competition, the 200 AM remained Bolt's primary event, beating Justin Gatlin's meet record in Ostrava, Czech Republic. Bolt had aspired to run under 20 seconds to claim a season's best, but, despite the fact that bad weather had impaired his run, he was happy to end the meeting with just the victory. However, a sub-20-second finish was soon his, as he set a new personal best of 19.88 AS at the 2006 Athleticima Grand Prix in Lausanne, Switzerland, finishing behind Xavier Carter and Tyson Gay to earn a bronze medal. Bolt had focused his athletics aims, stating that 2006 was a year to gain experience. Also, he was more keen on competing over longer distances, setting his sights on running regularly in both 200 AM and 400 AM events within the next 2 years. Bolt claimed his first major world medal 2 months later at the IAAF World Athletics Final in Stuttgart, Germany. He passed the finishing post with a time of 20.10 AS, gaining a bronze medal in the process. The IAAF World Cup in Athens, Greece, yielded Bolt's first senior international silver medal. Wallace Spearman from the United States won gold with a championship record time of 19.87 AS, beating Bolt's respectable time of 19.96 AS. Further 200 AM honors on both the regional and international stages awaited Bolt in 2007. He yearned to run in the 100 meters, but Mills was skeptical, believing that Bolt was better suited for middle distances. The coach cited the runner's difficulty in smoothly starting out of the blocks, and poor habits such as looking back at opponents in sprints. Mills told Bolt that he could run the shorter distance if he broke the 200 AM national record. In the Jamaican Championships, he ran 19.75 AS in the 200 AM, breaking the 36-year-old Jamaican record held by Don Quarry by 0.11 AS. Mills complied with Bolt's demand to run in the 100 AM, and he was entered to run the event at the 23rd Vardar Noyonia meeting in Retaimo, Crete. In his debut tournament run, he set a personal best of 10.03 AS, winning the gold medal and feeding his enthusiasm for the event. He built on this achievement at the 2007 World Championships in Osaka, Japan, winning a silver medal. Bolt recorded 19.91 AS with a headwind of 0.8 AMS, but this paled in comparison with Tyson Gay's time of 19.76 AS, which set a new championship record. The Jamaican national record fell when Bolt partnered with Azafar Powell, Marvin Anderson, and Nestor Carter in the 4A, 100 meters relay. However, their finish in 37.89 AS was not enough to beat the Americans' time of 37.78 AS. Bolt did not win any gold medals at the major tournaments in 2007, but Mills felt that Bolt's technique was much improved, pinpointing improvements in Bolt's balance at the turns over 200 AM and an increase in his stride frequency, giving him more driving power on the track. World record breaker, the silver medals from the 2007 Osaka World Championships boosted Bolt's desire to run, and he took a more serious, more mature stance towards his career. Bolt continued to develop in the 100 AM, and he entered to run in the event at the Jamaica Invitational in Kingston. On May 3, 2008, Bolt ran a time of 9.76 AS, aided by a tailwind of 1.8 AMS, considerably improving upon his previous personal best of 10.03 AS. This was the second fastest legal performance in the history of the event, second only to compatriot Azafar Powell's 9.74 AS record set the previous year in Rieti, Italy. Rival Tyson Gay lauded the performance, praising Bolt's form and technique especially. Michael Johnson, who was observing the race, said that he was shocked at how quickly he had improved over the 100 AM distance. The Jamaican surprised even himself with the time, but coach Glenn Mills remained confident that there was more to come. Mills' prediction came true before the end of the month when Bolt established a new 100 AM world record on May 31, 2008. Pushed on by a tailwind of 1.7 AMS, Bolt ran 9.72 AS at the Reebok Grand Prix held in the Icahn Stadium in New York City, breaking Powell's record. The record time was even more remarkable in light of the fact that it was only his fifth senior run over the distance. Gay again finished second and said of Bolt, "It looked like his knees were going past my face." Commentators noted that Bolt appeared to have gained a psychological advantage over fellow Olympic contender Gay. In June 2008, Bolt responded to claims that he was a lazy athlete, saying that the comments were unjustified, and he trained hard to achieve his potential. However, he surmised that such comments stemmed from his lack of enthusiasm for the 400 meters event. and chose to not make the effort to train for distance running. Turning his efforts to the 200 am, Bolt proved that he could excel in multiple events, first setting the world-leading time in Ostrava, then breaking the national record for the second time with a 19.67 AS finish in Athens, Greece. Although Mills still preferred that Bolt focus on the longer distances, the acceptance of Bolt's demand to run in the 100 am worked for both sprinter and trainer. Bolt was more focused in practice, and a training schedule to boost his top speed and his stamina, in preparation for the Olympics, had improved both his 100 am and 200 am times. His confidence was building, and he was sure that he would perform well in the upcoming Olympics. 2008 Summer Olympics, Bolt announced that he would double up with the 100 meters and 200 meters events at the Beijing Summer Olympics, and the new 100 am world record holder was the favorite to win both. Michael Johnson, the 200 am and 400 am record holder, personally backed the sprinter, saying that he did not believe that a lack of experience would work against him. Bolt qualified for the 100 m final with times of 9.92 AS and 9.85 AS in the quarter-finals and semi-finals, respectively. In the Olympic 100 am final, Bolt broke new ground, winning a 9.69 AS with a reaction time of 0.165 AS. This was an improvement upon his own world record, and he was well ahead of second-place finisher Richard Thompson, who finished in 9.89 AS. Not only was the record set without a favorable wind, but he also visibly slowed down to celebrate before he finished and his shoelace was untied. Bolt's coach reported that, based upon the speed of Bolt's opening 60 am, he could have finished with a time of 9.52 AS. After scientific analysis of Bolt's run by the Institute of Theoretical Astrophysics at the University of Oslo, Hans Eriksson and his colleagues also predicted a sub 9.60 AS time. Considering factors such as Bolt's position, acceleration and velocity in comparison with second-place finisher Thompson, the team estimated that Bolt could have finished in 9.55 A plus or minus 0.04 AS had he not slowed to celebrate before the finishing line. Bolt stated that setting a record was not a priority for him, and that his goal was just to win the gold medal, Jamaica's first of the 2008 Games. Olympic medalist Chris Akabezi construed Bolt's chest-slapping before the finish line as showboating, noting that the actions cost Bolt an even faster record time. IOC President Jacques Rogge also condemned the Jamaican's actions as disrespectful. Bolt denied that this was the purpose of his celebration by saying, "I wasn't bragging. When I saw I wasn't covered, I was just happy." Lamine Diak, president of the IAAF, supported Bolt and said that his celebration was appropriate given the circumstances of his victory. Jamaican Government Minister Edmund Bartlett also defended Bolt's actions, stating, "We have to see it in the glory of their moment and give it to them. We have to allow the personality of youth to express itself." Bolt then focused on attaining a gold medal in the 200 am event, aiming to emulate Carl Lewis' double win in the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. Michael Johnson felt that Bolt would easily win gold but believed that his own world record of 19.32 AS set at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta would remain intact at the Olympics. Bolt eased through the first and second rounds of the 200 am, jogging towards the end of his run both times. He won his semi-final and progressed to the final as the favorite to win. Retired Jamaican sprinter Don Quarry praised Bolt, saying he was confident that Johnson's record could be beaten. The following day, at the final, he won Jamaica's fourth gold of the Games, setting a new world and Olympic record of 19.30 AS. Johnson's record fell despite the fact that Bolt was impeded by a 0.9 AMS headwind. The feat made him the first sprinter since Quarry to hold both 100 am and 200 am world records simultaneously and the first since the introduction of electronic timing. Furthermore, Bolt became the first sprinter to break both records at the same Olympics. Unlike in the 100 am final, Bolt sprinted hard all the way to the finishing line in the 200 am race, even dipping his chest to improve his time. Following the race, Happy Birthday was played over the stadium's sound system as his 22nd birthday would begin at midnight. 2 days later, Bolt ran as the third leg in the Jamaican 4x100 meters relay team, increasing his gold medal total to 3. Along with teammates Nestor Carter, Michael Frater, and Isafa Powell, Bolt broke another world and Olympic record, their 37.10 AS finish breaking the previous record by 0.3 of a second. Powell, who anchored the team to the finishing line, lamented the loss of his 100 AM record to Bolt but showed no animosity towards his Jamaican rival, stating that he was delighted to help him set his third world record. Following his victories, Bolt donated $50,000 to the children of the Sichuan province of China to help those harmed by the 2008 Sichuan earthquake. Bolt's record-setting runs caused commentators not only to praise his achievements but also to speculate about his potential to become one of the most successful sprinters ever. Critics hailed his Olympic success as a new beginning for a sport that had long suffered through high-profile drug scandals. The previous 6 years had seen the BALCO scandal, Tim Montgomery and Justin Gatlin stripped of their 100 AM world records, and Marion Jones returning 3 Olympic gold medals. All 3 sprinters were disqualified from athletics after drugs tests detected banned substances in their systems. Bolt's record-breaking performances caused suspicion among some commentators, including Victor Conti, and the lack of an independent Caribbean anti-doping federation raised more concerns. The accusations of drug use were vehemently rejected by Glenn Mills and Herb Elliott. Elliott, a member of the IAAF Anti-Doping Commission, urged those concerned about the issue to come down and see our program, come down and see our testing, we have nothing to hide. Mills had been equally ardent that Bolt was a clean athlete, declaring to the Jamaica Gleaner, we will test any time, any day, any part of the body. He doesn't even like to take vitamins. Bolt stated that he had been tested 4 times prior to the Olympics, and all had tested negative for banned substances. He also welcomed anti-doping authorities to test him to prove that he was clean, stating, we work hard and we perform well and we know we're clean. I was slowing down long before the finish and wasn't tired at all. I could have gone back to the start and done it all over again. After the 2008 Olympics, the end of the 2008 athletic season saw Bolt compete in the AF Golden League, beginning in world-class SAR 1/4 inch. Despite having the slowest start among his competitors in the 100 AM race, he still crossed the finishing line in 9.83 AS. Even though the time was slower than both his newly set world record and Isafa Powell's track record, it was still among the top 15 100 AM finishes by any sprinter to that date. Bolt admitted that he was not running at full strength, suffering from a cold, but he had concentrated on both winning the race and finishing the season in good health. At the Super Grand Prix final in Lausanne, Bolt ran his second fastest 200 AM with a time of 19.63 AS, equaling Xavier Carter's track record. However, it was the 100 AM final, featuring Isafa Powell, that drew the most interest. Powell had moved closer to Bolt's world record after setting a new personal best of 9.72 AS, reaffirming his status as Bolt's main contender. Bolt's final event of the season came 3 days later at the Golden League final in Brussels. This was the first 100 AM race featuring both Bolt and Powell since the final in the Olympics. Both Jamaicans broke the track record, but Bolt came out on top with a time of 9.77 AS, beating Powell by 0.06 AS. Victory, however, did not come as smoothly as it had in Beijing. Bolt made the slowest start of the 9 competitors and had to recover ground in cold conditions and against a 0.9 AMS headwind. Yet the results confirmed Jamaican dominance in the 100 AM, with 9 of the 10 fastest legal times in history being recorded by either Bolt or Powell. On his return to Jamaica, Bolt was honored in a homecoming celebration and received an Order of Distinction in recognition of his achievements at the Olympics. Additionally, Bolt was selected as the IAAF Male Athlete of the Year and won a Special Olympic Award for his performances. However, he turned his attention to future events, suggesting that he could aim to break the 400 meters world record in 2010 as no major championships were scheduled that year. 2009 Berlin World Championships. Bolt started the season competing over 400 meters in order to improve his speed, winning 2 races and registering 45.54 AS in Kingston, and windy conditions gave him his first sub-10-second finish of the season in the 100 AM in March. In late April, Bolt suffered minor leg injuries in a car crash. However, he quickly recovered following minor surgery, and he stated that he was fit to compete in the 150 meters street race at the Manchester Great City Games. Bolt won the race in 14.35 AS, the fastest time ever recorded for 150 AM. Despite not being at full fitness, he took the 100 and 200 AM titles at the Jamaican National Championships, with runs of 9.86 AS and 20.25 AS respectively. This meant he had qualified for both events at the 2009 World Championships. Rival Tyson Gay suggested that Bolt's 100 AM record was within his grasp, but Bolt dismissed the claim and instead noted that he was more interested in Asafa Powell's return from injury. Bolt defied unfavorable conditions at the Athleticima meet in July, running 19.59 seconds into a 0.9 AMS headwind and rain, to record the 4th fastest time ever over 200 AM, 100th of Gay's best time. At the 2009 World Championships in August, Bolt eased through the 100 AM heats, clocking the fastest ever pre-final performance of 9.89 seconds. The final was the first time Bolt and Gay had met in the season, and Bolt improved his world record with a time of 9.58 AS to win his first World Championship gold medal. Taking over a tenth of a second off the previous best mark, this was the largest ever margin of improvement in the 100 AM world record since the beginning of electronic timing. Gay finished with a time of 9.71 AS, 0.02 AS off Bolt's 9.69 AS world record run in Beijing. Although Gay withdrew from the second race of the competition, the Jamaican once again produced world record-breaking form in the 200 meters final. He broke his own record by 0.11 seconds, finishing with a time of 19.19 seconds. He won the 200 AM race by the biggest margin in World Championships history, even though the race had 3 other athletes running under 19.90 seconds, the greatest number ever in the event. Bolt's pace impressed even the more experienced of his competitors. Third-placed Wallace Spearman complimented his speed, and former Olympic champion Shawn Crawford said, "Just coming out there, I felt like I was in a video game, that guy was moving a euro fast." Bolt pointed out that an important factor in his performance at the World Championships was his improved start to the races. His reaction times in the 100 AM and 200 AM were significantly faster than those he had produced in his world record runs at the Beijing Olympics. However, he, together with other members of Jamaican 4x100 AM relay team, fell short of their own world record of 37.10 AS set at 2008 Summer Olympics by timing 37.31 AS, which is, however, a championship record and the second fastest time in history at that date. On the last day of the Berlin Championships, the governing mayor of Berlin, Klaus Wowereit, presented Bolt with a 12-foot-high section of the Berlin Wall in a small ceremony, saying Bolt had shown that one can tear down walls that had been considered as insurmountable. The nearly 3-ton segment will be delivered to Bolt's training camp in Jamaica. Several days after Bolt broke the world records in 100 and 200 meters events, Mike Powell, the world record holder in long jump, argued that Bolt could become the first man to jump over 9 meters, the long jump event being a perfect fit for his speed and height. At the end of the season, he was selected as the IAAF World Athlete of the Year for the second year running. 2010, Diamond League and Broken Streak. Early on in the 2010 outdoor season, Bolt ran 19.56 seconds in the 200 AM in Kingston, Jamaica for the 4th fastest run of all time, although he stated that he had no record-breaking ambitions for the forthcoming season. He took to the international circuit May with wins in East Asia at the colourful Dalaga Pre-Championships meeting and then a comfortable win in his 2010 IAAF Diamond League debut at the Shanghai Golden Grand Prix. Bolt made an attempt to break Michael Johnson's best time over the rarely competed 300 meters event at the Golden Spike meeting in Ostrava. He failed to match Johnson's 10-year-old record of 30.85 and suffered a setback in that his 30.97-second run in wet weather had left him with an Achilles tendon problem. On his return from injury a month later, Bolt asserted himself with a 100 AM win at the Athleticima meeting in Lausanne and a victory over Asafa Powell at meeting Arval in Paris. Despite this run of form, he suffered only the second loss of his career in a 100 AM final at the D'Engolan. Tyson Gase soundly defeated him with a run of 9.84 to Bolt's 9.97 seconds, and the Jamaican reflected that he had slacked off in training early in the season while Gay had been better prepared and in a better condition. This marked Bolt's first loss to Gay in the 100 AM, which coincidentally occurred in the same stadium where Powell had beaten Bolt for the first time 2 years earlier. 2011 World Championships, considered the overwhelming favorite to win in the 100 meters at the 2011 World Championships in Daegu, Bolt was eliminated from the final, breaking ridiculously early according to the starter in an interview for BBC Sport, and receiving a false start. Usain Bolt's countryman, Ewan Blake, won in a season best of 9.92 seconds. In the 200 AM, Bolt cruised through to the final which he won in a time of 19.40 seconds. Bolt also won gold in 4AA, a 100 meters relay with Team Jamaica setting a world record time of 37.04. In June 2012, Usain Bolt won the 100 AM race in Diamond League in 9.79 seconds. 2012 Summer Olympics, the double-triple. Before the 2012 Summer Olympics in London, Bolt came in second at the Jamaican trials in both 100 AM and 200 AM. However, at the Olympics, he won the 100 meters gold medal with a time of 9.63 seconds, setting a new Olympic record for that distance and defending his gold medal from the 2008 Beijing Summer Olympics. He was followed by fellow Jamaican, Ewan Blake, who won silver with a time of 9.75 seconds. Following the race, seventh-place finisher Richard Thompson of Trinidad and Tobago declared there's no doubt he's the greatest sprinter of all time, while USA Today referred to Bolt as a Jamaican national hero, noting that his victory came just hours before Jamaica was to celebrate the 50th anniversary of its independence from the United Kingdom. With his 2012 win, Bolt became the first man to defend an Olympic sprint title since Carl Lewis in 1988. "I'm now a legend. I'm also the greatest athlete to live." Bolt then redefined everything, by following up that impressive performance with a successful defense of his 200 meters gold medal with a time of 19.32 seconds, followed by fellow Jamaican second-place Ewan Blake at 19.44 and bronze medalist Warren Weir at 19.84. With this, Bolt became the first man in history to defend both the 100 AM and 200 AM Olympic sprint titles. In fact, Bolt was so comfortably ahead near the finish that he was able to slow down, put his left finger to his mouth and tell everyone to shush. As soon as Bolt crossed the finish line, he did 5 push-ups, 1 for each of his Olympic gold medals. Following the race, 8th-place finisher Inazo Jobadwena of South Africa compared Bolt to a ghost, who disappears in front of you. When asked about his greatness as a sprinter following his victory, Bolt placed himself in the category of Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali, in their respective sports. International Olympic Committee President Jacques Rogge initially stated that Bolt was not yet a legend, and would not deserve such a claim until the end of Bolt's career, but later called him the best sprinter of all time. On the final day of the 2012 Olympics athletics, Bolt participated in Jamaica's gold medal-winning 4A, 100 meters relay team consisting of Bolt, Nestor Carter, Michael Frater and Ewan Blake. With a running time of 36.84 seconds, they broke Jamaica's previous world record of 37.04 from 2011. He celebrated by doing the Mabot in tribute to Mo Farah. 2013. On June 6, 2013, Justin Gatlin beat Bolt by 1/100th of a second and won the 100 meters at the Golden Gala meet in Rome, Italy. Bolt appeared at the 2013 London Anniversary Games winning the 100 meters in 9.85 seconds. He also participated in the 4x100m relay that was won by Jamaica. On August 11, 2013, Bolt regained the title as world's fastest man by winning the World Championships 100m in Moscow, with a time of 9.77 seconds, ahead of Justin Gatlin in second with a time of 9.85 seconds. On August 17, Bolt won the 200-meter race for his second gold medal of the World Championships with a time of 19.66 seconds. Bolt won a third gold in the 4x100m relay, which made him the most successful athlete in the 30-year history of the World Championships. For the fifth time in 6 years, Bolt was named IAAF World Male Athlete of the Year. Personal life. In his personal life, Bolt expresses a love for dancing and his character is frequently described as laid-back and relaxed. His Jamaican track and field idols including Herb McKinley and former Jamaican 100m and 200m world record holder, Don Quarry. Michael Johnson, the former 200 AM world and Olympic record holder, is also held in high esteem by Bolt. According to the Catholic news agency, Bolt is Catholic and is known for making the sign of the cross before racing competitively. His middle name is St. Leo. In 2010, Bolt also revealed his fondness of music, when he played a reggae DJ set to a crowd in Paris. The first sport to interest Bolt was cricket and he said if he was not a sprinter he would be a fast bowler instead. As a child he was a supporter of the Pakistani cricket team and admired the bowling of Wakianis. He is also a fan of Indian batsman Sachin Tendulkar, West Indian opener Chris Gayle and Australian opener Matthew Hayden. During a charity cricket match Bolt clean-bowled Chris Gayle. Gayle was complimentary of Bolt's pace and swing. Bolt also struck a six off Chris Gayle's bowling. Another bowler complimentary of Bolt's pace was former West Indies fast bowling great Curtly Ambrose. Australian cricketer Shane Warne said on August 12, 2012 that Bolt would be interested in playing in the Big Bash League. Bolt confirmed this saying, "Shane Warne contacted me and asked me about if I am serious and if I really want to do it then he can put in a few words that should get it done. So we will see if I get the time off. I will try." He also said he likes the 2020 version of the game, just the fact that it is so exciting, it's about going hard the whole time, not just about playing shots. It's about being aggressive and I like that style of batsman. If I get the chance I will definitely try because I know it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how good I am. I will probably have to get a lot of practice in the social media campaign. Warne started to get Bolt into the league also gained support from Australian Hollywood actor Russell Crowe. In response to Bolt's interest, Melbourne Star's chief executive Clint Cooper said, "We're going to wait until the Olympics is over and re-engage with him and his management company. We've got a couple of spots left on our list." Bolt is also a fan of association football and a supporter of Manchester United. He has declared he is a fan of Dutch striker Ruud van Nistelrooy. Bolt was a special guest of Manchester United at the 2011 UEFA Champions League final in London, where he stated he'd like to play for them after he retires. In 2013, Bolt played basketball in the NBA All-Star Weekend Celebrity Game. He scored 2 points from a slam dunk but acknowledged his other basketball skills were lacking. Sponsorships and advertising work. Almost single-handedly, Bolt has helped track transform itself from a dying sport to one with a singular, smiling, worldwide star. After winning the 200 AM title in the 2002 World Junior Championships in Kingston, Bolt signed a sponsorship deal with Puma. To promote Bolt's chase for Olympic glory in the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing, China, Puma released a series of videos including Bolt's then world record-setting run in Icon Stadium and his Olympic preparations. After his world record-breaking run in New York City, which was preceded by a lightning storm, the press frequently made puns on the Jamaican's name, nicknaming him Lightning Bolt, and the Bolt from the Blue. During the Beijing 2008 100 AM final, Bolt wore golden Puma complete Theseus spikes that had Beijing 100 AM gold emblazoned across them. His athletics agent is PACE Sports Management. In January 2012, Bolt impersonated Richard Branson in an ad campaign for Virgin Media. The multi-million-pound campaign was directed by Seth Gordon and features Virgin founder Branson to promote its superfast broadband service. In March 2012, Bolt starred in an ad for Visa and the London 2012 Olympics. On April 19, 2012, Bolt announced, via Twitter, that he will be partnering with mobile gaming company RockLive to release a mobile game. On July 12, 2012, Bolt and RockLive launched Bolt, a new iOS game based on the Jamaican sprinter. Bolt quickly became the #1 app in Jamaica and climbed the UK iTunes charts to reach #2 on the list of top free apps. His autobiography was released in 2010 as My Story, 9.58 being the world's fastest man. During a press conference in Paris on July 15, 2010, Bolt declined any comment on what would be contained within the book, saying, "You can't really give away anything in your book. Should be exciting, it's my life, and I'm a cool and exciting guy." Recognition: IAAF World Athlete of the Year, 2008, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2013 Track and Field Athlete of the Year, 2008, 2009, Laureus World Sportsman of the Year, 2009, 2010, 2013, BBC Overseas Sports Personality of the Year, 2008, 2009, 2012, LA Permail Cup Champion of Champions, 2008, 2009, 2012, Jamaica Sportsman of the Year, 2008, 2009, 2011, 2012, Mark Aloenda. In October 2008, he was made a Commander of the Order of Distinction, which entitles him to use the post-nominal letters CD. In 2009, at age 23, Usain Bolt became the youngest member so far, of the Order of Jamaica. The award was for outstanding performance in the field of athletics at the international level. In the Jamaican honours system, this is considered the equivalent of a knighthood in the British honours system, and entitles him to be formally styled the Honourable, and to use the post-nominal letters OJ. Personal appearances: Bolt made a cameo appearance in the opening sketch of the 13th October 2012 broadcast of Saturday Night Live, hosted by Christina Applegate. The segment was a parody of the vice presidential debate between Joe Biden and Paul Ryan. In the sketch, Taran Killam mimicking Ryan had just lied about running a 2:50 marathon, a sub-4-minute mile on no training, and winning the 100 meters in London when Bolt was introduced as his partner to confirm. When asked, Ryan asked Bolt, who won the 100 meters. The Jamaican gold medalist answered simply, "I did." Ryan followed up by asking Bolt about his finish. "You didn't finish. You weren't even there." Bolt appeared later in another sketch. Statistics: personal bests, records. Bolt's personal best of 9.58 seconds in the 100 meters is the fastest ever run. Bolt also holds the second fastest time of 9.63 seconds, the current Olympic record, and set 2 previous world records in the event. Bolt's personal best of 19.19 AS in the 200 meters is the world record. This was recorded at the 2009 World Championships in Athletics in Berlin against a headwind of a 0.3 ams. This performance broke his previous world record in the event, his 19.30 AS, clocking in winning the 2008 Olympic 200 meters title. Bolt has been on 3 world record-setting Jamaican relay teams. The first record, 37.10 seconds, was set in winning gold at the 2008 Summer Olympics. The second record came at the 2011 World Championships in Athletics, a time of 37.04 seconds. The third and current pending world record was set at the 2012 Summer Olympics, a time of 36.84 seconds. Bolt also holds the 200 meters world teenage best results for the age categories 15, 16, 17 and 18. He also holds the 150 meters world best set in 2009, during which he ran the last 100 meters in 8.70 seconds, the quickest timed 100 meters ever. Average speed: from his record time of 9.58 AS for the 100 AM sprint, Usain Bolt's average ground speed equates to 37.58 km/h. However, once his reaction time of 0.15 AS is subtracted, his time is closer to 9.43 AS, making his average speed closer to 38.18 km/h. Bolt's top speed, based on his split time of 1.61 seconds for the 20 meters from the 60 to 80 meter marks, is 12.42 ams. International competition record, see also. References. External links, official website, Usain Bolt profile at IAAF, Usain Bolt on Twitter, Usain Bolt timeline via the Daily Telegraph, images, lightning strikes twice in 2008 a Euro slideshow by the first post, Usain Bolt wins 100-meter gold at 2012 Olympics a Euro slideshow by USA Today, video, Science of Olympics, Usain Bolt's biomechanics a Euro by NBC, Bolt wins second consecutive 100 million gold a Euro by NBC, Bolt wins second consecutive 200 million gold a Euro by NBC.